Good, man. Good. I actually kind of did the same as you. Slept in pretty late, so
Hmm.
I'm just catching up with everything. Just now seeing what's going on.
Haven't had a chance to watch Gary's stream this morning yet. I was helping
Yeah,
somebody out,
I
so I
haven't.
still got to catch up on that. I usually try and catch it before our space, but here we are.
Yeah, I haven't caught up on any of that.
Let me
I
go
was
find
actually kind of
JJ's.
waiting for you to put JJ's thing. Exactly.
I'm getting it up right now. There we go.
That's what
Boom,
allows
boom.
me to get caught up on the day normally.
Yep, yep. I mean, I just post that because it just leads right to Gary's as well. We don't have to clutter all the whatever we're calling it. I don't think that we decided that one. And then I still have my raffle going.
Oh yeah, where are you at with that?
Let me double check. Da-da-da-da.
There's a lot of giraffe on there right now.
I did notice, like, mine's only at 30% right now. So, guys, I am giving away. I gave away like a bunch of Gary yesterday. Sent it out. Posted a couple of them. So if you like, I'm giving away some Gary. I know. I think JJ is doing the same with his. So, uh, just saying, if you want some Gary, my rule is that you have to be wearing a draft PFP on raffle decks like that because I want people to see draft, not just listing draft. I want people's PFPs on there for their profiles to be draft. So that's my ulterior motive.
Whoa, Gork is up. Holy crap, look at Gork.
Work.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, Gork. Almost 98%.
Luis. We're not even have to worry about that soon. We're not even have to think about it. We're like all we're gonna know is I don't know what was up. All what I know is I have more Solana in my account than or in my wallet than I did when I went to sleep last night.
Wait, say that again?
Saying we're not going to worry about things going up because we're just going to wake up and there's going to be more Solana in our wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what
Exactly.
went up? I don't care. There's more Solana in my wallet. It doesn't matter. Who
What went up
cares?
was my balance.
My
My balance
balance.
went up. Team of 6 testing max extract right now. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it once it. And by the way, everybody, again, if you like watching it, I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not getting up at the time that Gary does it, because I'm not that kind of morning person, I guess. um, but I watch it every day on 2x. Like I'll double time it. So if usually his streams seem to go from 30 to 40 minutes. So if it's a 40-minute, 20 minutes, 20 minutes of your time, pop in your earbud, hit it on 2x, and you can get through the whole entire thing and just watch the stream. Or you can watch it live or you watch it in full time. But I'm saying if you're saying I don't have the time, 15 to 20 minutes a day, you have time 15 to 20 minutes to watch a stream and stay like or what or read JJ's recap. But I'd say I like JJ's recaps, but I always prefer to just hear it from the horse's mouth, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I still watch it. I just
Hmm.
I just do the notes real quick, but yeah, you should still watch it.
Yeah, 100%.
How many days left do you have on your raffle?
I think it's like 3.5. So yeah, guys, you gotta do that. I mean, I'm gonna give it away either way, but hey, come on. My plan is to go and buy more, another draft, and then probably do another raffle like this. So if you want me to be able to do another raffle and also give away, the more that I get from this, the more I'm going to round into giving Gary away. That's what I'm doing. I'm actually going to give Gary away from the profits. I'm not trying to make any money off this. I just want to I want to give back to you guys. So
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing I did. I just, gave away like, whatever little bit of profit there was, I pretty much just gave away in Gary. Oh God, we need to get so you've only got 3 days left and you're only at 30%.
yeah, I know. Well,
Dang it.
I did it, and then like everybody else launched draft raffles. I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Dang. We got to get this out.
Yep. I mean, like, I'd love to sell it out, but I'm giving it away either way. So the energy going is the goal. We got to keep
Are
that
you
energy going.
have you been streaming at all?
Live stream. Like, I've done a few live streams, but I'm streaming the space right now. But um, I haven't had a chance the last few days because of shooting. But
That's what I
I was
figured. Yeah. You think you'll be able to do a stream today?
either today or tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get one in today, but definitely
Okay.
if not today, then I'm gonna try and do a nice long one tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'll tweet yours. I'll tweet this out a little bit more
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Just because it's like for every about 10%, it's about a Solana ish, but you do have to pay. You do have to pay about like half a Solana in fees. So
Oh, you have 4 days. Okay,
I have four
good.
days. 4 days.
Yeah, you have 4 days and 2 hours. Basically 4 days and 3 hours.
So we're about halfway done, but we're not 50% through. So, but I did find that some of them go a little bit faster at the end. But yep.
They do. They do. They typically go faster at the end.
And as far as like those raffles, I know I did mine for 8 days. I was trying to do 7, and I'm glad I ended up getting the extra day. But I think with the amount of users there, I think you just need to do a longer raffle, like the month, and it to sell out when it sells out.
Right.
That's what the vibe I'm getting until there's more energy there, which I don't doubt that there will be. But again, it's like a week and a half old platform, 2 week old platform at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but as
And
far as raffle platforms,
it's a cool platform
yeah,
too.
yeah. As
It's
far as
neat.
raffle platforms, I think is great.
Yeah.
One request for them: bundles. Seriously, if anybody's listening, bundles. I love bundles. So if I could raffle off the entire stacker package, I think that would be way more valuable. Like I'm going to put in NFT, draft NFT, and 1,000 Gary, and that's what I'm raffling off. I want to be able to raffle off everything they need in order to get access to the stacker agent.
Yeah, that would be cool. Just to be able to do
Hmm.
like the stacker
The
packer.
whole package.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not have to do it other methods or But yeah, I mean, lots going to change. And by the way, anybody, feel free to raise your hand and come up and chat with us if you want. I know it's a sleepy Saturday morning or evening or wherever you are. You are welcome to come up and ramble with Joe and myself.
The stacker packer. Yeah, we should send them an email to see if they can do that, because that would
Yep.
be especially, you know what I'm thinking. Um, Again, we're getting very close to having a wallet doxed. That would be a
Hmm.
great raffle to run
Yeah,
while that happens.
I want everybody to win.
Well, while that once you get a doxed wallet, we're gonna have a lot of energy, obviously,
Yep.
and that would be a great raffle to run at that moment. People seeing that and just like, hey, you see what's going on with this doxed wallet? Everything you need in order to get this, it's right here. Go to that raffle. You've got your Gary coin. You've got,
Yep.
you know, that'd be perfect. And find new people too. Because
Yep.
we need to find new people. We need one thing. I mean, you can see like for raffle decks here, if you don't bring in new people, liquidity dries up.
And people get burned out and like, I bought.
Yep.
I get it. I
So you've
100%
got to
get it.
constantly be bringing in new blood,
Yeah. And
and we need the same.
I'll say this to raffle decks: it's not just the draft's responsibility.
True that. True that. What's up, bearded?
It's
How's it going?
Pretty good, man.
happening.
Good, good. I did notice too that the raffles tend to sell out more towards the end when it's counting down.
Hmm.
You'll
Yeah.
see them starting to go and sell a
Yeah,
lot more.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that
stressed.
seems to be the
I'm not
trend.
worried. I want somebody else to have a draft. That's why I'm doing it. So, but
Yeah,
I I would love to have the liquidity back so I can go and buy that floor. Because I everybody knows that I deserve a third stacker. I mean, obviously I should get into that and get that third stacker because that makes sense, right? Right, Joe? That makes sense.
No comment.
Me either.
No comment.
Hey, I fumbled the bag too. I bought it for 9 instead of 2.
Man, I can't believe there was one that sold for 2 Sol.
Well, there wasn't any energy around it for the longest time. Like Gary says, like he never he made the original point of the stackers was we had people like me. I have Dunk Coin. It still exists, and I'm not super active with it anymore because I'm putting all my energy into Gary, which I think is the wise decision. In all, correct me if I'm wrong. I think
Yeah,
that was the
definitely.
wise move. And there's still liquidity there. If you want to go trade Dunk, it's still there. It's still there. It still has liquidity backing it. I've never pulled any of my liquidity from it. It's there. Like I'm not rugging my community. You know, it's I may not be promoting it as much, but it's there, and I still left all my liquidity I put into it sitting there. So you're welcome to trade it if you want to. But there was people that would come in. So I came in, I was on the rally side, and I I told you before, like I applied for a coin at rally, which, oh, thank you, I didn't get it. Oh, that was a blessing in disguise. But when I applied, they told me my credit score wasn't high enough, which is odd. I have a really high credit score. It was weird, and they said my credit score is too high or too low, and so they didn't let me in. And that I was not the only one, and several of us wanted coins because we wanted to tokenize our communities in the way that Gary was, and and then Gary was always talking to the people at Rally, and they operated like a Web 2 business, which is not what we want, right? We don't want them operating like this board of directors that thinks they know better than all of us, right? So Gary decided to migrate, and that's where the golden tickets came from. So everybody that had a golden ticket, like I basically migrated my tokens over, and because I migrated a certain amount, that gave me the golden ticket, and also meant that I launched the coin on the platform. I got my Dunk coin and access to all of the different the tech that he was building as well, and like that was the whole entire plan. And but there was a lot of people that didn't have like the money to actually start that because I basically got in through the migration. I bought I paid my fee on the side of Rally, but the people over here, not everybody could afford it. So we decided to find a way to help bring more communities in and basically be like their sponsor. So we had like a unofficial DAO, which was a group of us, and we would vote on if like a group of us that had the stack, we'd buy the stacker, and then we'd be able to vote on if we wanted to actually allocate some of the funds that were raised by selling the stackers initially. So that was the whole point of actually taking the stacker and funding communities so there'd be no new tokenized communities like Dunk or Drive or Parent and stuff like that that would be in the ecosystem. And unfortunately, and I've said this, we've talked about this too, that it attracted there's if you're going to launch a business like a business like to the level that Gary is in Web 3, you better understand how the blockchain works. You better understand how Web 3 works. Like that was my whole thing. Like you got to understand that. And you'd get these people that would, you know, form a community, and then they would pump up their coin, and then they would hit the sell button on their coin that they got Genesis tokens from, and then they would rug their entire community and us because we were it was, but so we were that's the reason why we stepped away from it, because it was attracting these people that if you don't have enough money in Web 3 to afford like a $3,000 fee, then you don't have enough knowledge to actually go out there and actually earn that in Web 3. So you shouldn't really be starting a business in Web 3. You know what I mean? Is this making sense, Joe? Or
Stand by 1 second.
all good. No, I'll ramble more, but
It
yeah,
makes sense.
you shouldn't be starting that. And it attracted a lot of people that had a dream. But then they'd be like, and then on top of them rugging their community, they would hit the sell button and they'd be like, but it said $50,000, and they wouldn't understand slippage. They wouldn't understand bonding curves. They wouldn't understand all these things. And they would yell, scam. So you get these people that literally don't understand the foundation of what they're trying to build their business on. And then they would call scam because they didn't understand it. And that happened one too many times. And that's why we kind of shifted to the social fi, which that was the, there was like friend tech. Gary was talking about this the other day or yesterday, and that was like friend tech. And friend tech, we had our better version of it. It was so much better than friend tech. Friend tech was garbage, but we actually had a really amazing system. But again, you just need to have the users, the energy, and we didn't have that because again, you attracted a lot of Web 2 people. Like that's kind of what this community had been for a while. And now that we have actually shifted into Web 3 fully, which I love so so much. I'm just so happy that that happened. I love my Web 2 my web, yeah, can't speak. I love my Web 2 fam. Like I love them, but I can't have a conversation with them about something and them understand it. They have to speak my language. It's to be like if I went to a like a it would be like me trying to go to, like, I talk about Star Trek here and there, but it's like if I went to somebody that had no care in the world and tried to talk to them about like one of those episodes, they wouldn't care or no. It's like it's that same thing. You don't talk to somebody that doesn't understand or operate in that. So I'm so glad that we shifted this way. But because we did, the stackers existed. There was originally 150 of them. Gary burned it down to 50. And like I bought one originally in order to fund those communities. But now that the utility is shifted, um, originally, what he did, like when that kind of shifted, he was giving Gary drops. So I kind of got like, it may not seem like much, but at the time, it was like 3 Gary a day. I would just get airdropped to me every single day. It wasn't that much, but hey, it's 3 Gary. It would be going to my wallet every day for holding the stacker, and I would get that. So that was one little thing, and then eventually that ended up getting when the social fi launched, it got integrated into the social fi aspect, and like that drop every day. So it's evolved, and the thing is, like I've held on to it that entire time, and I feel like I've gotten my investment back already. I'll be perfectly honest. Like I've 100% gotten my investment back on that first stacker already. Like 100%. And like I granted, if I tried to sell my second one, I would definitely be able to get it back. But even without selling that first stacker, I have gotten 100% of what I put into it back out of it personally.
I missed
So
some of that. I missed some of that, but I didn't realize there. You know, I just didn't realize that there was so much
yeah,
that the stacker did already. Like I
yeah.
said, I missed part of that,
Uh-huh.
but same
Well,
thing. The golden ticket. That what was that for originally? What did
the
that's
golden ticket was when we were migrating over from Rally. So Gary wanted to do it in good faith over at Rally and not rug their entire platform. Um, and so he said, what we would do is we would send Gary on, we would send it to him, his account, and he agreed to never sell it on Rally. He agreement with them to never sell it. So you'd send it to him, and then he would mint new tokens over on Solana, and we built the liquidity over there instead.
uh-huh.
So it was a migration. So he give us new tokens over on Solana, and then he would give us, but then also like the golden ticket as well as, which would give us anybody that got the golden ticket got access to launching your coin. That was like the initial thing, the first thing with the gold, and then also uh, he said anybody that has that particular golden ticket would be able to go to different to all, like we went to like the Puerto Rico event, which was the first one, and there's going to be many more, but we went to Puerto Rico and had that whole, the vibe and parties and all that stuff. There were certain events that you had to have that golden ticket in order to get into. It was like a certain like training that Gary did on one of the days, and we so there's certain things that allowed us to go to those. And he said that anybody, if you had that golden ticket, you're going to be able to go to these events as long as I run them. So so that was another thing that came from it. So there hasn't been too much that's come from the golden ticket aside from that sense, but I've just held it, and I just keep it in my wallet, and like I know I like if Gary's given enough out of this stuff that I've gotten. I could tell you one thing. I've been around this whole entire time. I've gotten more out of being involved than the person that just would have, uh, I've gotten more out of it than I feel like I put in. I guess and maybe that's just me being. I don't think that's modesty or whatever, but you
Sure.
get what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Totally.
saying that I feel every bit that I've invested in this, I've gotten what I wanted and more. And because I've stuck around, because I've actually had faith, like I've learned one thing about Gary is he's never going to give up on what he's building. That's it, like from and the fact that he's not going to give up on that means that he's a good bet. So that particular there's different product market fits that didn't really work out, which is how businesses work. But uh but with the I knew that we would eventually hit this, and I tell you, like the stacker agent, this is it. This is the thing. I've been 4 years investing in a company and getting a yield like along the way. I've gotten way more than if I invested in anything else. So this was not a bad decision on my part. So that's my ramble.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, it's really great. Like I said, I didn't realize there was such a history behind it. It
There's,
again, because
I
once
mean,
I came in,
history
it
and
was
everything.
dead.
Yeah,
It was totally, there's just
idle.
nothing. I had no clue what was. I didn't even know it existed. So
Well, there's also like there's another one called the Gary Club Founders Pass. You never know if he's gonna like I traded 25 draft for that.
everything, yeah, because everything was pretty much purchased with Giraffe at first, right?
Give or take. I mean, there was Gary and there was draft, but yeah. Um, but what that was he wanted to give access to the tech, which has kind of been sunset at this point, but it's say la vie. But the so instead of giving full access forever, he used to be able to say if you have 25 drafts, then you have access. But instead, he said, now just send me the draft, and I'll give you the NFT, and then you'll have access instead. And because people, if you sold one draft, you'd lose access to the tech. Now, instead of doing it that way, you have the one NFT, it would give you access.
Neat. Okay. Cool.
So again, that's another example. There's really nothing that's doing right now, but I hold it because there's going to be a point where I feel like it's going to have value, either some utility, or I'd say, I'm not a big person. I'm not a good person to sell NFTs. I'm bad at that. Come on, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm bad at
Right.
selling NFTs. I collect them. You know my collections.
True. Yeah. True. Well, and again, I'm sure something at some point along the way, you know,
Yeah, yeah, that's my
it'll
point. It's
come
like
up and yeah.
it's not burning a hole in my wallet. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Right.
just sitting there, and if something ever happens with it, great. If not, I've already gotten more than I
Yeah.
feel like to put in.
Exactly. You're
That's the
already
way I
playing
look
with
at it.
house money. Yeah. You're already
Yeah.
playing with
Yeah.
house money at this point.
Mm.
Yep.
What's
I
up,
don't
Gary?
even know how I knew, but I begged Adam to buy his the day that because he had the money to buy it, and for like I think he paid like 36 Solana with the royalty or total with every because there's no royalties on that. 33 or
For the
36
stacker? For the
for
stacker?
the stacker. Yeah, like a little over a month
Oh,
ago.
that's right. That's when, yeah, there was one that was like in the high 30s or something,
Yeah,
right?
Adam's my
Yeah.
nephew.
Okay. Got it. Got
And
it.
he
Got
had
it.
the money at the time, and I had a bunch of giraffe. So I don't even know how I knew it was going to be so special, but I knew about the lower fees, but I never knew like he's up right now about 143, 45,000. If you look at the price of the one that's up there,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's
Exactly.
it's
But
crazy.
yeah. When Gary listed the one at 1,000 salon, I use like the step finance to track my portfolio. So it doesn't show anything that I wish it would show stuff that's in protocols. Come on, step. But it made my that portfolio go up like 300K because I have two. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna show everybody this."
Yeah. Exactly. I love
But I'm
it.
like, I know in my head it's not liquid. So I usually always go when I think of like my portfolio, I think of like coins more than NFTs, just because
Right.
that's liquid.
Right.
I
Yeah.
also think that's going to be cheap for one once the
Oh,
walls are doxed.
I 100% agree. I, I wish I bought more. I'll be perfectly honest.
Well, that's what's so I mean, look, that's what's so big about these. Like fuck man. Again, it's going to be great once there's like a doxed wallet and once stackers are going, but I'm really looking for like down the, go a year, 2 years down the road when things are really humming along, we're into a V2 or V3 stacker at that point. Other skills have come along that we're not, we don't even know are going to exist yet. That's what I'm really looking forward to, man. Giraffes will be selling for higher than what stackers have. You'll just have a regular giraffe selling for 200 soul, and a stacker will just be something out of this
And
world.
that's when people will fractionalize it.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm really looking forward to,
Hmm.
man. Is once we get to that point, because again, like what happened with Maui Nancy and her crew, that's what's going to be happening with Giraffe. Exactly like that. There's going to be groups of 15 people who get together. Hey, let's all throw in 10 Solana. Let's
And didn't they
buy
end
this
up getting
thing.
it? Wasn't it end up being 13? They were trying to do 20, right? And it ended up being 13. They were able to do it, right?
Well, no, what they did is they like fraction basically they broke it down into 20 spots. Okay, and some people just bought 2 spots.
Oh, got it, got it,
Yeah,
got it.
so
Okay, so it's
they had
13 people, but still 20
there were
20 shares.
20
Got it,
20
got it.
shares, but with 13 people exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so
Yeah,
13 people, 20
so
shares.
maybe someone bought three, a couple of people
Hmm.
bought two. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah, I mean that's fucking awesome, man. And again, I can totally see a world where you've got 100 of those, 100 DAOs that you know just own one giraffe, even
and
just one.
to note about the DAOs, uh, you need to have basically a unified voice in order to if they ever wanted to sell it. So once those enter the DAOs, I don't ever see them hitting the floor ever,
Oh
or
yeah, yeah,
any
right.
or hitting the market in that general.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing I think is going to happen. There is a point in our future where there's just not going to be cells. There is a point. People are going to hold on to them, and there'll be offers. People will have offers up. Um,
Wait a minute. We're not selling the superhero stacker.
yeah, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, no.
Exact.
We're going to pass it down to our children. As long as they have the seed phrase to cash out, the good.
That's exactly the point. I mean, that's exactly
Well,
the point.
even what Gary he hinted at something yesterday that kind of got me excited too, because he was talking about putting systems in place that send the money to the bank, which would mean that you would have to, liquidate it into USD or whatever your local currency is, and send it to your local bank. Granted, that may be different in different countries, but that alone, just being like literally the people that operate in dollars and don't give a flying, about crypto or even know about it, are like, I don't know that funny money, but it puts money in my bank somehow. It's like,
Well,
like,
I
I
think what
think,
he's got is something he's gonna like attach from like Sphere,
yeah,
where it'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
he'll
But
just
that's what I'm
attach it.
saying. It's good
Yeah.
for the average person that is not. This makes the pitch to your non-crypto friend much easier. Your non-crypto person that
I,
has deep
I
pocket. Hmm.
understand that, but that will trigger a taxable event.
Hmm.
So I would rather keep it in the ecosystem for
I
me.
know. I'm. There's
For me.
options. Like I
But
wouldn't do
for,
that. I
yeah.
I wouldn't do that as well. Just
Yeah,
be
but
all.
for others that want to see it in their bank, yes, go for it. Or have a card like Coinbase does. Just use it as you go.
Personally, I don't like to ever sell my crypto. Like ever. No, ever, ever, ever. Not even the way that you
I
do, Joe.
mean, like you said, it's an option
What I
for
mean
those.
is, I would rather leverage my crypto than sell it. In the same way that you could take out a loan in the DeFi ecosystem and leverage your crypto to do something else here, you could do that in the real world,
And
and
not pay taxes.
and
Yes.
not because loans aren't taxable, and you leverage your crypto, and then and then you have income coming in from something you've leveraged it with. So that's giving away what
The
my long term
alpha.
plans are,
But
but
yeah, that's the DeFi, the magic of DeFi. You
yeah.
can do the same thing.
You could do that same thing in DeFi, and like you could take out I don't know the ramifications of liquidating USDC actually, but I don't know. I don't know that stuff, but I have to look into it deeper. But going actually getting you can get those loans from banks that will leverage your crypto, and then you never have to sell it. And then you hold like I have no doubt that there's going to be people that are going to do that with Gary. I want Gary to be this thing that banks go like, yeah, that is a blue chip. We will use that as leverage.
I know, right? Will be blue chip.
Hmm. So we say that is a safe bet for us to take a loan against. Price just can keep on going up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because look again, like loans on chain are going to be a very different animal too. You're going to have, it's not going to be anything based on a credit score. It'll be, what do you use to? What was that site you were just saying that you use to like look at your whole portfolio?
That's I'll send you a link. Step Finance. I'll send you a link to it.
A step. Okay. Well, no, there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them,
I
and
like Step it because it shows like the NFT portfolio as well.
hmm hmm
But I do actually like that Jupe's portfolio tracker, um, that they actually show what's in protocols.
yeah,
So if they could just
right.
merge those two features into one platform, that would be fantastic. I want those like I want to see the the price of the NFTs as well as stuff that like I want to like on Step it's not showing anything that's locked away in the Gary protocol,
Well, the
like the locked
reason why
Gary
I'm
protocol.
bringing it up is because that's the way loans are going to be done in the future. Is they're going to look at a protocol like that
Hmm.
where it just calculates all of your, here's all of your on-chain assets. Here's what you have liquid, or that can become liquid. Here's what you have in protocols, staked in a protocol. Here's the NFTs that you have. Here's what those NFTs could be liquidated for if you were to accept highest offers on all, and they'll calculate loans based on that. And
And some sort of
it'll have
like
nothing to do. It'll just
multi-sig wallets that connect
yep.
with the banks and stuff like that you put it into, so you protect your asset and they protect themselves. So
Well, they'll be secure loans. They'll be
hmm
secure where so if you don't pay it back, they can
they can
foreclose on the
liquidate.
loan and liquidate whatever assets they want. And
You
there's
could also think of
there's
it
no
as a
more credit.
tax-free limit order if you really think about
Yeah,
it.
that too. Yeah.
Like it's a
Yep.
it's a it's a st- it's a or it's a stop tax-free stop loss, I guess would be the best way to.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, I mean that's going to be and look, that's a best case scenario for everyone.
And just a reminder, no, nobody, we don't know what we're talking about. We're not financial advisors. Don't listen to us.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Hey, you
Except
got to
for
say, man,
except for me, I am. Listen to me.
you you can listen to us, but just know that we don't know what we're talking about. We're idiots, especially me. I'm the biggest idiot here. You shouldn't listen to me.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I always say it's not financial advice; it's life advice.
Yeah,
This is life advice. Oh, what's up, Danny? I'll bring him. You got him done.
I,
Cool.
I got him
All
already.
right. I
So we are also got
don't,
we got Gino down there and Jillian and
what is it,
Christian and
Danny?
Clint.
Asset Dash shows your lock stuff.
Which
Asset
one?
dash.
Yep.
Ooh, let's.
Okay.
It also shows your NFTs.
Yep.
Oh, let's take a looky see.
And it uses floor price for the price of your NFTs.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what Step does as well.
Yeah. So
You said
I
Can,
Asset Dash.
can you share the link
Asset Dash.
in the bubble? Share the link.
Yeah, I'll share one right now.
There
what
we
up,
go.
Gino?
What's up, Gino? Miss you.
What's up?
Long time, man.
How you doing?
Man, it's been a long time. I'm sitting here chilling after a long day on the dirt bike track, listening to Alan Jackson singing Little Bitty.
Yeah, nice, nice. I didn't know Alan Jackson was allowed in the Netherlands.
It isn't. There's police driving into my street right now.
Right. Right.
Free Gino!
That's
hey,
funny.
hey, Gino. One
Send
of
me a
one of the
pack of
crews that I
Marlboro
work with
Red,
is
man.
is in your neighborhood right now. They're in Amsterdam.
What? Where? What? Who? What?
One of the crews that I work with shows that I work with usually they a bunch of people I know they're on a show that's in Amsterdam right now.
Why aren't you in Amsterdam right now then?
Because I wasn't working on the show.
Man, that sucks.
Because I wanted to hang out with Joe more than I wanted to work on the show.
Exactly. Smart decision.
No, no,
Smart
no. You
thing.
wanted to hang out with Joe more than hang out with me.
I
But
didn't
I'm
know they were
hanging
going
out
to
with Joe
Amsterdam.
too right now. So
Didn't know
we
they were.
could have been both hanging out with Joe while we were hanging out in Amsterdam.
I'll say
I
one
like
other
that
thing though.
logic.
There is in the near future. My family wants to go on a trip to Amsterdam or to the Netherlands, so I'm making sure I'm on that trip, and we're definitely gonna hang out. So that's coming up soon. So
Man,
I'm
you
definitely.
guys know that early 2000 movie Euro Trip?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
exactly how it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
That was my experience when I went to Amsterdam. I don't know what you're talking. I could not figure out the safe word.
Oh, Dunk, stop it. This is a family space in here, Dunk.
I know that's such a good. That movie holds up.
All
Yeah.
right, so I put the link in the comments, and I put a code in there if you want to use it for a gold boost.
I'm doing it.
Nice.
I'm hitting the button right
You can
now.
actually trade through Asset Dash. They use Jupiter, and you earn gold. You can take your gold and buy all kinds of tokens with it. And I've been buying Moby and trading it for Gary.
Okay, nice. Very
Thank
cool.
you.
Right. I am
No problem.
creating the account right to the now.
By the way, Zazie, I like your new PFP. That's really cool.
Grok did that for me.
Okay. Yeah, it looks cool. I like it a lot. Looks like a toy or something.
It's porcelain. Just kidding.
Ah, porcelain. Okay.
So
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, Gino, you said to send you some reds, bro. I will. I don't like the reds they have there in Europe. They're not the same.
Oh no, they're different.
It's
They're
not the
different.
same. Yeah. It's like smoking air. Get two puffs out of them and then they're done.
Can't you buy them
You?
by case in the duty free?
Um,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, they're still the European ones if you buy them over there. You got to buy
Yeah,
them
so
here.
buddy of mine, he was here last week. He's now back in San Francisco, but he was here. He works on. He does the sprinkler installations on big cruisers.
Okay.
So he just travels the world and just hop on a cruise ship. But he was in the U.S. and he brought some U.S. Marlboro Reds. Man, those are way better than we have
They're
here.
so
Like
much
those
better.
those
Yeah.
those, those give you the real cancer. We
Yeah,
have weak
exactly.
cancer.
Exactly. Yeah, so I always bring my own smokes when I go to Europe. Always. Plus your guys' packs. What's up with the packs over there? You need to I get it. I know they're not healthy for me. Thanks. You don't need to put a fucking picture in my face of,
The
like,
dying
what's
child,
up with
man.
that?
Dying child from the packs. No,
I
but
know
we
there's like a
enjoy
little
that.
deformed baby on
But
there. It's like, oh,
we
thank you.
yeah, but
Thanks.
we use that as Pokemon cards, man. You gotta collect them all.
You got to collect them all. That's hilarious. Oh, man. Collect them all. Yeah, I got the teeth one. I've got the veins one.
There's this one, and that's just a fat guy with a big hole in the side of
Yes,
his rib
yes,
cage,
yes. I've seen
and
that.
then
I've seen that
it's
one. Yeah.
just he misses a
Yes.
lung. That's crazy.
Yes,
What
I've
the fuck
seen
is
that one.
Gino doing here?
yeah, I forgot about him, huh?
I'm saying hi.
Oh
Well,
man.
nice to see you here, Gino.
Nice to be here, fam.
Gino used to be active as fuck. He used to run a weekly class to teach everybody about Gary Club and everything.
Man, I'm ready to jump back. I'm ready. I'm ready. Just I was getting back, and then
Yeah,
shit
you
hits
were. You were for a
fan, and
minute.
then man, oh man, it was crazy, man. A buddy of mine, he hang himself, so that was fucking insane.
I'm sorry, dude.
But now, yep, we are back into the normal life. So And thanks to like this is maybe I could share it real quick. Like I know Gary for a couple of years right now, and I shared that story with him. Just being a good friend, and also just checking in, like if I'm good over all the time that I was away and all of that. So that's just and more people of the community. Dunk, keep in touch. JJ, the old school, and also the new school guys. Man, that's amazing about being a giraffe. It's not just here making gains and being the best PFP on the whole blockchain, but also really have a family when you connect with people that you watch out for each other.
Definitely. Definitely.
Well, Joe does this space every day, so you can stop by and say hi anytime you want to.
Hmm.
I don't know what
Yep,
time
yep,
it is
yep.
where you're at right now.
Right now it's 8:45, so
Oh, it's not
it's
too bad. So
that.
if
No,
Rosetta
that's
works
okay.
like a night shift.
It's usually about 45 minutes before now starts daily.
Yeah, so it'd start at like 8 o'clock your time. But no, there's like, I mean, a lot of people, like JJ had to dip for a bit and took like 6 months to 8 months out of Gary Club for a while and didn't sell his assets, like wasn't leaving, just needed to focus on stuff outside of crypto. And I think that was hard for me to figure out as a founder because you all, not that you take it personal, but it almost is personal. You're like, shit, where did everybody go? And then you're like, well, they have a life, and if they can't make all their income here, then they have to go make income, and they have to do all this other shit that exists in the world that's not just crypto. But that took a minute for me to figure out.
Right.
But
So
now
that's why I
you
decided to build Stacker Agent so everybody could make money here and nobody ever had to leave.
Yep.
exactly you figured out the answer.
No, exactly right. Like I figured it out. I was like, well, there's only a couple of scenarios that could be going on. Like people either have like personal shit, which people do, or they need to go make money. They need to focus their time and stuff like that. And I get it. I make money here. I still have clients and stuff, but I make money in crypto. A lot of people don't. You make money when you sell your assets, but if you don't sell them, you don't make money. So
Gary, when I was walking off the lot yesterday, I was thinking like instead of like, oh man, I'm tired, I've got to go home. Like I was like, I wonder if I could buy this place.
yeah, I'm fucking exactly right. Like I was talking to Peyton today. We were going out to grab a burger at this barbecue joint. And I said, soon I'm going to get paid to not be in front of my computer. She kind of looked at me and she's like, what do you mean? And I said, well, it's going to be a way more compelling story. I'm floating down the river and just made 50 grand aping this meme coin. Or I'm, at the beach, or I'm doing this or I'm doing that. It's way better than the narrative they feed you on the timeline that says stay at home, lock in, move
Hmm.
back home, live in mom's basement, spend a year of your life struggling so you can hopefully make it. And I'm going to spend a year of my life like, I mean, literally, while I was at the barbecue shop, if we would have been playing with live soul and I had 10 soul and I would have made probably 7 grand, 8 grand at the barbecue shop just while we were sitting there having burgers on stuff we caught as we're testing. We're still paper testing. We're not putting Solana in yet, but I would have probably made 7 or 8 grand. When we released Block Zero, I would have probably made 40 grand at the barbecue shop just having a burger. And that's a compelling story to someone. Made 40 grand while eating barbecue today. I made 40 grand while floating down the river. I made 50 grand going to Six Flags and riding the roller coasters. Whatever the story happens to be, it's way more compelling than I sat in my office all day and I clicked the magical buttons and some money came back to my wallet. Hey, Zazie.
Yes, I was gonna say I'm gonna give you all an insight of the private convo we had on the the group that bought the star was it Star Strike or something. Anyway, uh, they were worried, or one of them was, that there'll be too much money in the trading bot. And I said, that's a good problem. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, and there's only so much, and we've got to build some big capital strategies before we roll this more publicly. But there's only so much money you can deploy into certain coins at a time. Like you can't ape 100 Solana into a coin with a $4,000 market cap at block zero because you're gonna own the entire supply and never be able to get out. And there's just certain things like that that you have to play with. So a lot of what we do in the next coming weeks, we'll be testing in a very controlled environment where I know exactly what to do and our team knows exactly what to do. We have a good bit of Solana set aside for testing. And then we'll start to roll out to just a couple of people. Like in my mind, it's really Dunk and JJ because they're the two that have a stacker agent and they're creating content regularly, almost daily right now. So for those, I want them to start getting access so they can start sharing that content because they actually have the stacker agent. And then that'll let us document some stuff. Dunk will be able to do some videos. JJ will be talking about it on stream and showing it off and stuff like that. And then we'll build some more capital allocation strategies as we keep onboarding the stacker agents. And we'll just give them control parameters and say, look, if you're going to run block 0, don't put more than X in your wallet at a time, because we haven't built this parameter yet. And we'll work with them. And then while we're running with those 50 stacker agents, we'll build all the proper safety mechanisms. Like we found today that when a token jumps past 500K in a single candle, if it's a big buy that pushes it, we will buy the top when we need to wait and we need to see if it retraces. So we learned that today, and we've got to go build around that because when something popped to like 650K market cap, we wanted to buy at 500. It popped above it, so we went to buy it, and we bought it at 650 on paper, but we bought it at 650, and it immediately retraced down to like 440, like the next second, because there was a big sell. It was just one big transaction. So what we need to do is we need to say, okay, it's above 550. Our threshold was 500. Let's wait, and if it keeps on going, then we're just going to let it run. We missed it. And if it comes back down, then we're going to grab it on the second pump. And we're just learning little things like that as we're playing. And now that our data integrity is in place, but we'll start to roll it out in some Docs wallets soon. The team's anxious to play. One of the things we're doing for the team is we're giving them. They'll use this. We've got 5 people working full time plus me, so 6 people working full time on this. But we're giving them their seed capital to fire up their stacker agent so they can test. We'll pay the capital as Gary Club, and then they get to keep the capital and all their gains. So they're really pumped because some of the stuff that we're playing with is going to take that couple Solana and turn it into a lot of Solana very quickly. So it's fun. The team's telling me today, they're like, man, we're ready. Like we got a couple more things we can do before we can put Solana here, but we're getting closer and closer and closer. But we're monitoring like crazy. We're watching every single thing that happens. We're figuring out the ones we catch, the ones we miss. We're monitoring. Like we've had multiple opportunities today to double or triple our money on max extract. So we've watched those come through. Buying at a 500K market cap and selling at $1 million. Watching those things just happen repeatedly today. The market's busy. You can lock in and make money today. And Stacker Agent's been, being able to show us how it can do it for us. Like we had a coin. Let's see, TPD, Trump Pope documentary. Literally just a few minutes ago, it pumped and single candle went to 692. Then it retraced back down to 447, and then it climbed back up to 600, and it's still maintaining right now. Who knows what happens to 553, 554. So there's stuff like that happening all day long today, and we're just watching the market and checking data and making sure that we get the buys and the sells that we want.
I have another question for the superhero stacker, Gary, if that's okay.
Yeah, what you got?
Um, we were planning on like do a profit distribution at the end of the month. Is there like a way to pause or stop the trading for a few minutes so we can take money out? Or do we even have to do that? We can just take money out while it was going. I'm not
Well,
sure.
I mean, you can take money out while it's going because you'll either have Solana or you'll have the tokens that you're buying and selling. You can also pause it, and we'll build 2 kinds of
Uh
pauses.
huh.
One kind of pause will be like a, oh shit, halt, get me out of all my positions and give me back all my Solana you can get me.
Okay.
Right? Like I'm done. Like liquidate everything that you bought
Oh,
for me, give it all back. I'm out.
liquidate.
And that'll be like an emergency halt, like pause, give
Uh
me,
huh.
let's liquidate positions because maybe you get news that the market's getting ready to crash
Okay.
and you want to liquidate your positions as quickly as possible. So we'll do like a sell all button.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other button will be like a slow pause. And what that will do is it will live out the rest of the trades you have, but it won't buy anything new for you.
Okay. Then that would probably a way where we can pull the profit out,
Yep. And then whenever it's
and
done,
then we
and
can
when you have no
resume.
more active trades and it tells you it's fully paused, and it'll just give you a little status update. We'll get better and better at our
Hmm.
displays, but it'll give you a little status update that will show you, you've got 5 trades open and 4 trades open and 3 and 2 and 1. And when you can get them down to 0 trades open, at that point in time, you could distribute any capital that you want.
Okay, I'm sure Dunk will provide a video on how to do all that. Thank you, Dunk.
When I
Yeah, and
know,
we'll
I'll
we'll
make
have
videos.
documentation.
Yeah, thank you,
Now
Dunk.
we won't have a lot of documentation early when the stacker agents, the 50, get access to it. That part of that is you're in a beta environment. Some stackers, which we've talked about, may not feel comfortable using this day one, and that's okay. Nobody is expected to use it day one. You use it when you get comfortable and when you feel that the knowledge base and the help and you understand it and all of those things, because it is real money and there are real losses that can be had. So just because you get access to it on day one doesn't mean you have to use it on day one. If you need to give it time to let things get built or new UIs get created or Dunk to do a video or whatever it is, then that's just a decision that each stacker has to make for themselves and build their comfort level with that the level that the tech is at, and make sure that they're ready to use it when it's available to them. Because some of it will be it won't be like, before we go public, this will be in its own app on your phone. It'll be slick UI. But when we start, it's going to launch as a Telegram interface, and you're just going to interact with Telegram. Which, if you've ever used BonkBot or something like that, it's different. It's doable, and thousands of people do it every day. But it's just different interacting with crypto in a Telegram bot than it is when we build our slick UIs. Telegram bot lets us get it out fast. Slick UIs take more time. So we go Telegram bot first because that lets us get the data out and let people start making gains. But some people will just wait until we get the slick UIs built, and that'll take a little while longer. Even like GMGN, their automatic trading and stuff, when you're doing it, you have to connect it to Telegram, and they process everything through their Telegram bot. They just send the signals when you click the button on the website. So it's used. Telegram's used all the time, but that's how we'll launch, and not everybody will be comfortable with that at the stacker agent level. And it'll launch on Telegram for Giraffe too. While we're in the Giraffe phase is when we'll start building our cleaner UIs and stuff like that before we take things public, if that makes sense for everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna make videos when like I'm excited to. That's how I actually learn, Gary. Like I learn by making those videos because if I can teach myself how to do something, then I can teach somebody else. So that's part of the reason. I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten how to do something I made a video about, and I've gone back and watched my own video to remind myself. It's funny.
I'm waiting to see the first person to, like, not tokenize the way that Zazzy and them did, but tokenize their own
Hmm.
stacker agent. The person who has maybe 2 stackers or 3 stackers and says, I'm going to take one of them and I'm going to do a capital raise, and I'm not going to keep any of the money, or I'm going to keep a little bit of the money, and I'm going to load up the entire stacker with all the capital. I think that's going to be an interesting play when somebody does that with one of the stacker agents that gets access to block 0. And then you do a crowdfunding raise where people send Soul to a wallet. You get 100 Solana or something like that, 200 Solana, 500 Solana. You put some of it in a liquidity pool to match the token. You put the rest of it in your stacker agent and fund it, and you have fun with it. I can't be involved in that because that's very degen shit, and probably borderline gray in most countries of whether that's legal or not legal. But it will happen, and it will be fun when it does. And I'll probably end up buying some tokens for that from an Anon wallet that nobody knows about, because I think it'll be interesting.
There are going to be so many opportunities. People have no idea. Like, no idea what's coming. Like, I was just even saying, like, one of the reasons why I feel like I've already gotten out everything financially, everything I put into the community, I feel like I've gotten out of it so far. So it's like, I feel like I'm playing with the house's money right now, and it, but it feels good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and I think that's a great way to roll in.
mhm.
The community members that have been here for a while, I was talking to Gino about that yesterday, and I said I feel bad for some people that have been here for a while and didn't grab a stacker agent, like Markovic, for example. He didn't grab one, and then I gave everybody an opportunity that was a well or an OG and offered them a trade for Giraffe, especially the people who have like 100 or 200 Giraffe, and nobody took me up on the trade because I thought it was the fair way. I've offered that many times. And at that point in time, it was, I think I said 25 Giraffe for one stacker agent, and nobody took me up on it. And that's fine, right? It's their Giraffe. They can do whatever they want. But I think some of those people now might be a little, I think they may have wished that they would have a stacker agent when they see what's coming out.
You
And
miss everything. Every opportunity you don't take, you miss. So
yep. And
So
I
like,
understand it. I mean, I sold those at a $3,000 premium price. Not everybody needed it. The utility is that we launched with isn't close to as good as what we're going to now. I mean, we were going to give you some Gary coin and give you some rewards and stuff like that, but it's nowhere close to what we're releasing on now.
but I feel like I
So
got out of that 3,000. I feel like I got the worth back from that.
if you held it until today, I guarantee you did.
Yeah,
Because
I
Gary
did.
coin's now at 25 cents a piece. If
Yeah,
you sold all your coin when Gary coin was at 5 cents a piece, you might not have gotten your full investment back.
you know me. I'm bad at selling things.
Yeah, and that's like I never know. Like I can't tell you that a stacker agent is $150,000 because what if you bought your soul for $10
Hmm.
and it's 1,000 Solana, so that's to you that's $10,000. I don't know what you bought your Solana at. I don't know what you like. I don't keep track of what people do with their Gary coin and all that stuff. So, but if you got your stacker rewards that we gave out and you held them until today, then the Gary coin we gave you more than paid for your original investment. And now you have an asset that we had a sell on for $12,000 yesterday. And nobody's paid $12,000 for one of those yet.
Hmm.
Nobody that I sold them to did up front. They could buy them on secondary for that, but nobody up front paid that.
As minimum forex.
Yeah, exactly right. Because we sold those at 3.
Hmm.
And I feel good about that. Like that's a pretty good return in a couple of years. Nobody secondary could have, but we sold Giraffe on Solana for 100 Gary coin each. We didn't sell them for $1,100. They cost 100 Gary coin, and we still hold the Gary coin that we made. We did not sell it. So when we migrated from ETH to Solana, we said it's not a migration, it's a new mint. You either keep your Giraffe on ETH or you have a Giraffe on Solana, whichever you choose. If you want to move from ETH to Solana, it's 100 Gary coin. And every single Giraffe that moved paid it. Even me, all of the Giraffe that I moved, I had to pay it on. And we held the Gary coin. It's in the Gary Club treasury. And so we didn't make any money on primary sales at Giraffe when they came to Solana. We made very minimal money on primary sales on Giraffe on ETH, maybe like to the tune of $10,000 or $15,000. Not much money at all because we gave a lot of away for free. So to take that from that journey in a couple years and build it to $1,100, I think people who bought their OG and got a bunch of free Giraffe because they bought their OG, I think they've done very well. I think people who bought a Giraffe originally have done very well. Or minted a Giraffe from us have done very well, even if they paid their 100 Gary coin to move it. I think they've done very, very well from mint to today. So I feel very proud with the value that we've delivered based on the contributions that people made.
Yeah, I remember when my when we not migrating, like moving over to Solana, like watching like, oh man, all my Garys disappearing. I gotta go buy more. So like at that moment, I feel like I almost spent all my Gary coin at that point. So everything I have has been collected since then. So I kind of at the moment, you could say the moment that I came over to the draft migrated over, I had no Gary coin at that point, just draft, and I had
Yeah,
like so everything I had was stuff that I've reacquired since then.
I had to spend 250,000 Gary coin.
Yeah, yeah.
Like no fucking joke. I spent 250,000 Gary coin of my own, and they moved from my personal wallet to the Gary Club business treasury, and they still sit there. We hold 1,000,000 Gary coin, and we've earned those 1,000,000 Gary coin, and we hold them, and we'll hold them for a while in the future. Like we have no intentions of selling them.
Mhm.
But I did the same thing. I had to drain a bunch of Gary coin to move, and it was the only way that it was fair.
Yeah.
And we gave away a lot of Gary coin because my promise was if you had an ETH giraffe and you were complainy or brokey or you went to you were on the poor beach instead of going to Bora Bora or whatever, then we would pay your 100 Gary coin to move your giraffe for you.
But I had to just complain, and I could have gotten it for what?
Only one giraffe though. You would have had to pay for all the rest of them.
Oh,
Because I
darn.
told people, I said, look, if you've got 5 giraffe, go sell one of your giraffe and you can make money. Right? Like don't be cheap. I understand if you're broke, and if you're broke, I'll give you 100 Gary coin to help you migrate. And we ended up giving it to probably 30 or 40 people. That we gave them 100 Gary coin. We had them open up a ticket in Discord, and we gave them 100 Gary coin so they could migrate. And that's all they needed. They didn't need any ETH gas whatsoever. They didn't need any Solana gas. All they needed was 100 Gary coin. So we gave them everything they needed to migrate. Some of those people didn't migrate, and they sold their Gary coin. Literally just clicked the button and sold their Gary coin because they had a little bit of Solana. Took the profits from that and didn't migrate their giraffe, which was kind of comical, but it is what it is.
Dumb.
Yeah, exactly. They looked at it and they're like, "Oh man, migration's too hard," but I just got 100 Gary coin, and that's worth. I think at
Dude,
the time we were
the
making like 20
migration
cents
was
or so.
so freakishly easy. It was
It
literally
was.
hitting a button.
Hey
It
guys,
was.
hey guys. I've been trying to soldier through this, but I'm gonna have to kill this. I tore one of my stitches, and I need
Oh,
to go to the doctor. So, but do you guys see what a soldier I am? I will bleed. I will risk life and limb to let the space go. That's how dedicated I am of a giraffe. But it's getting pretty serious now. So, gotta
go
go.
take
Love
care
you
of yourself.
guys.